Hello, I'm Amber Ford, and this is my EDL 856 case study, a new role for the parents organization. First of all, let's summarize the case and talk about the facts. Previously, there had been a school parent organization that was a positive force within the school. It played an important role in the school program and was very supportive. As principal, felt like there's a strong relationship had been built between myself and that organization. Then a new parents group was formed. This group discontinued their affiliation with the National PTA. Then the new officers had met together just themselves without administration and discussed happenings in the classroom, the school sponsored back to school meetings. And in those conversations, they decided they wanted to make teachers responsible for presentations at these events and which would cause several evening commitments for those teachers. Also, they formed new committees, those committees being a discipline one, teacher performance, curriculum, and school evaluation. Section 2, the legal and ethical issues. While right now I could not find any legal issues that would be a problem, there are some ethical concerns that I had. One of those, the group breaking away from the National PTA organization, which is a strong organization that helps build that relationship between school and home and involves family engagement. It's a strong branch of our school that needs to be supported by those national efforts. When you break away from that, you then don't want to follow those recommendations. This also shows a power shift that could take place. The power needs to be with administrators. They need to make those final decisions and have those hard conversations versus the parents having that. With concern on the legal side, depending on how far this would go, there could be some concerns with the negotiated agreement. It's a document that protects teachers' time and efforts. The requirements that this new group is placing on teachers would fall well beyond the hours probably marked in their negotiated agreement. So that is a legal concern. But then we also have to keep in mind FERPA. That act protects the records of students. They are private, and some of these committees, depending on exactly what direction they go, may feel like they have the right to those records, and that is not going to happen. So section 3 is to synthesize the facts in one sentence. So after breaking away from the National PTA, a new parent group has formed with a vision of having more control over how the school operates. So let's talk about those facts now. First of all, the people involved are the principal, the teachers, the parents, and the students. The place is an elementary building, and this meeting took place in the principal's office. And the program is now we have a new independent parent group. Some things that we don't know are the demographics of this school, social economical status, the different races. We don't know those types of things. We also don't know what the relationships truly look like. It felt like on the principal side it had been a positive force, but we don't have enough information from all the other stakeholders to know what those relationships felt like. Also, we do not know if there's other committees involved that should be involved, such as like a school improvement council. Some of those decisions are a teacher parent group that would typically be involved in some of the decisions that this new parent group would like to address, and the true reason why the new group was created. We don't know that as well. So now we're going to review and prioritize the information. As we think about the importance of parent groups, we want to remind parents that they are full partners in their child's education and that that is necessary for their child to be successful. And creating this new parent group and making these demands could develop some damage between those staffs and parents. We also need to gather some additional information, such as if there is a school improvement council already there. Also, we need to look at all the other stakeholders and ask for information from them. We need to examine the roles of those involved. I think this is an opportunity for the principal to review the negotiated agreement and the roles of his teachers or her teachers and what they already are required to do. It's also important that we make sure that the vision of the group and the school are both supported by all efforts, and that we need to continue to support the role of parents, that they do play an integral role in assisting in their child's education, but there is boundaries with that also. So those are the things we need to keep in mind as we make decisions. So here is section 6 and 7, the options and the positives and negatives to each one. One option is to do nothing, just ignore the situation and do what they ask. You're going to keep that relationship with that new parent group. The parents will definitely have a voice in the school. Some negatives are that it could damage some relationships between parents and teachers. When teachers are already stretched so far, they are asking them to do even more. And then the parents are involved in potential harmful ways. And then we may see some teacher grievances, and then that does ultimately lead to a shift in power. Another option is to collaboratively engage. This is an opportunity to collect data from all the different stakeholders through a needs assessment, and that will help us know if this is a small group pet peeve problem or if there is a big problem out there with our whole community. This would also allow both parents and teachers to have a voice. It would allow us to follow all regulations. This is a form of two-way communication. The negative is this will take time. Then the last option is just to get the Board of Education, the superintendent involved, because they are the ultimate decision makers. They do have to follow all those district policies, but then as principal, it's going to look like I do not have the ability to make decisions and face challenging situations on my own. So when I'm thinking about what is the best option, I must remember to promote current and future success of each student by engaging families, community, and school personnel to strengthen student learning, support school improvement. Those are the main things. What I do has to strengthen student learning and support school improvement. And in order to do this effectively, I must select an option that addresses the situation while also collaboratively engaging and cultivating relationships with community members, partners, and other constituents for the benefit of the school. So the option that I choose is to collaboratively engage with various stakeholders. I believe that this option can address the needs or wants and the differences between those of the stakeholders while also protecting the rights of teachers and the students learning in classrooms. So in order to implement this decision, I need to keep in mind that we are going to work together to increase student success and school improvement. That has to be the reoccurring theme through all these steps. I feel like I would start with informational meeting with that group of officers as well as any other parents that are part of that parent group, not just the officers. Invite all stakeholders to informational meetings and discuss the problems, but also the restraints you're under with the negotiated agreement. Based on that, work with the school improvement council. I'm assuming that there's a school improvement council that they could take that information and create a stakeholder survey to prioritize the true needs of our district or our school building. Then take time to review those results and develop a timeline of what things can be immediately changed or improved upon and what things need time to do so, because there is the potential that there's cost to some of these things that are wanting to be changed as well or addressed. And then the most important key would be communication. Get that out to all families, all stakeholders, and even make a presentation to your superintendent and Board of Education on this is the path that we have agreed upon taking, and ask for their support and encouragement to complete that timeline. If that wouldn't work, my plan B would just to be gain insight and support from the superintendent and the Board of Education on how to move forward. The Board of Education people are elected officials that support these parents potentially, and they represent them as their role, and there may need be a necessary involvement at that level to help solve the situation. And there is my reference for this case study. Thank you for watching. Have a great summer.